welcome back, you guys, to another episode on the Real Collective podcast. So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking on what is the perspective on beauty. So everyone, of course, has different views on this. You know, the saying of beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So we're going to cover a few things today. I know for me personally, when I think about beauty, um, I think about just what it's like to be a human, just especially in everything that's going on current day. It's just being kind to each other, really being there for each other, and just kind of communicating and working things out, as well as like your own beauty. You know, you don't need no one to validate how fine you are. You know, you fine,
No,
so
that's
say
right.
it. So that's just my little point view on that, and we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into this combo.
And what you think about it?
Um, I think beauty is something internal that's projected out. Excuse me. I feel like physical is always just gonna be physical, but that'll fade eventually. Your inside and how you treat people and how you just navigate that has a I feel like it has a lot to do with the beauty overall for people, for you, you know, individually. And I know with me being in entertainment, I've encountered a lot of different situations where it's only the physical that people focus on. And, you know, the media, they capitalized on that. So of course that it is what it is. Like, so I've gone through situations where I've done auditions and they're like, oh, well, you know, you have everything we're looking for. You have a great voice, blah, blah, blah. But it's the physical. They'll instantly go to, well, if you lose a couple pounds or, you know, so it's like I've missed out on a lot of opportunities because I didn't fit the complete mold of what that particular project saw as beautiful. And
And that's
it sucks.
it does.
It played on me, you know, with my self-esteem a few times. Yeah, I accept all that who I am now. But it was a struggle growing up. Like growing up, I was always the big girl in the drill team or in cheerleading or on dance team, like showing out, doing what everybody else could do. But I felt like I had to do more because they already had a preconceived notion like, oh, who's this little big girl on the team? And what's she gonna do? So I always had to go above and beyond to prove myself. And as I got older, I was like, I'm not about to keep doing that. Like, I know who I am. I know I'm not supposed to look like everybody else. I'm unique. Everybody looks the way they look because that's how God intended for them to look. So it took a lot of situations for me to get to that point where it made me comfortable for myself, but it also made me work internally to be like, I don't want to be ugly on the outside, ugly on the inside. Like I'm beautiful inside and out. So it's a deep topic, and that's just my perspective on the entertainment side of how I've had to deal with it.
But with entertainment, that all stems from the media, like magazines. I mean, as far back as you can go, you know, magazines always put the thin, almost frail, usually non-women of color on their magazines and with straight long hair. And that was the image of beauty for the longest time. Yeah. And I feel like over the years, it's been chipped away at a little bit, but definitely not enough.
Do you guys think that we lack still the representation for sure on that piece then? Because I just feel like even with what Cam said, like people like us are looking for other people that look like us to kind of motivate us in the sense of, well, if they're doing it, I can do it too. Like we need that, but they're kind of like intentionally starving us, I feel like, of that because they don't want us to kind of like get that air about ourselves and have that confidence. So you kind of have to just find it yourself. Like, look, there's people out there, like especially influencers and stuff like that on Instagram. There's a lot of people that look like each one of us, and it's just like we kind of have to look and search and understand that like we're not going to be on that poster or whatever it is, and we kind of just have to make sure that we know that it's okay, like we know the truth, and if that's what they're trying to sell, cool, but you don't have to associate yourself, you don't have to change who you are for anybody. Like if you love yourself, that's all that matters. Everything else is able to enjoy, especially on that notion on life. Like when you're looking into, what is life and what really makes you happy, well, if I get, this next job, or if I get, this next raise, or when I buy this house, why are y'all waiting for happiness? Like beauty is now, beauty is living today, is when your friend hits you up and, hey girl, you want to go down to da da da, you know what? Yeah, let me give myself a break and go really enjoy life. It's not behind your computer, it's not behind your phone. You have to get out there and really make those memories, because one day you're going to wake up in real life. Life has gone by and you have nothing but likes and comments.
That's it.
Yeah. Right.
That's
right.
it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in our society today, people need validation. People need other individuals to tell them you're beautiful. That goes to what Rock said. Social media. You got people who live off of likes. I mean, that's not what it's about. And that's why people have the perspectives that they have towards themselves. It's not even, from the other person. It's within themselves, because they're looking for that validation from other people to tell them you're beautiful. My daughter, when she was younger, she's a chocolate girl, skinny, tall, beautiful. But when she was younger, she used to always say, I wish I was light skinned. And I had to tell her, this is like from the age 4 to like 7. And I'm telling her, no, you're a beautiful chocolate young Black woman. And embrace your beauty, embrace yourself, because this is who you are. And Lord behold, she embraced her beauty and found her in it. She's like, what? But I just feel that, we need to stop looking for other people's validation on ourselves.
That's true.
Mine kind of piggybacks with Cam. When I think about beauty, it's way more than skin deep. And it always takes me to music, Soul Child song Love. And I listen to that myself for my own self-confidence. Because everything about me, makes me feel I'm the greatest gift in the world. So I feel like what's on the inside will always pour out. And, when you love yourself, it's easier for you to love others. And, you can exhibit that upon other people that are down in the moment, or, they are going through. It's easier to recognize when someone else needs to be told they're loved, or they're beautiful, or, just any little thing to add to that self-confidence. Because a lot of times people don't get that, that it's like, if someone is too small or they're too big, or, something, it's always a part of like bullying in a sense. And it'll tear a person down. The suicidal rate, is high, and that is a part of it. So I just feel like beauty is whatever you make it. You just have to know who you are, love who you are. You're made how you are. Can't control that.
Absolutely. And see, something you said, Nay, reminded me about that whole little bully piece. I want to say, I don't know, it was early 2000s, because I used to be a plus model, trying to get back into it. But back then, it was not really a thing at all. It was a really small community. And I was blessed enough to be able to go on this tour with this major beauty company. So we did like 8 different cities. And part of the show in each city, we did a little fashion show, a little plus model show. And at the time, I'm not going to say her name, but there was somebody from America's Next Top Model who was part of this tour. And I guess because she was a model, we were models, they used her to introduce our segment. So we're backstage every show in every city, and she's on stage like, okay, so this next part of the show, these are not your normal models. Wow. And that's how she used to open every show. And that fueled us because of her little hate, whatever she was going through. But that fueled us every time to go out there and give it everything we had, because we were trying to show them, just because you want to downplay what we do, we still gonna come out here and rip this runway. And that's what we did. But that sucks that there are people out there who want to downplay you. But now it's a little more accepted. And I like the fact that you don't just see plus models. You'll see models with disabilities. You'll see models with vitiligo. So I think it's getting better with representation.
Yeah, I think too, a lot of entertainers are tired of that. They want to see variety. And just like the public wants to see variety. So you got your Jill Scott, who's out here being beautiful from day one when she stepped on the scene. Did they give her credit when she came in? No. But she came in and she kept the momentum. She still stayed true to herself. Then it's like the society had to get up to come up to speed. You know what I'm saying? Now we have our Lizzos out here who's out here like, look, I'm gonna rock this bikini, I'm gonna rock this bathing suit, and I wish you would say something. And I feel like that has come from people just tired of seeing one cookie cutter image of what's beauty. Like, we are all beautiful. We all have our unique ways about ourselves. And I'm glad that, you know, even though it's taken some time, I'm glad that entertainers have taken stances and like, no, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna promote this. We're gonna be in y'all spaces, because you're not gonna control the norm. Nobody is in one cookie cutter box. We all different. We just on the podcast, we're 5 shades of beauty. We all have different personalities. You know what I'm saying? But we can all relate to somebody out here, because it's somebody out here that looks like one of us. And they're like, dang, okay, yeah, I want to start my business. I want to go out here. I want to start singing. I want to get my business going for my babies. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people taking a stance and getting tired of that bullying fact, because it is a lot of bullying in entertainment, just like Don said. And it's like, no, we're not gonna accept that. I am beautiful, and who's gonna check me and tell me I'm not? I wish you would.
Check you, boo.
Exactly. So listen. Sorry, I had to get on my soapbox for a second. I apologize. I'm sorry.
That's no apologies needed.
But it feels good though. Like even now, like, you know, I'm a taller girl, so like, winter's coming, okay? I be worried in the wintertime. My jeans be up here and stuff like that. So that was before, you know. Now it's just like I can go into a store, I can go online to the boutique, and there's a plus size section, and it's just like I got tired of telling myself like, oh, you have to lose weight, you have to. Like, I don't have to do not a dang thing. I'm fine anyways. Like, so it did take me a while. And I went through a period where, you know, I was kind of on the thinner side of still being my little plus size, because I've never been less than 2 something. So even I'll tell y'all. Exactly.
I'm with you, Rock.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's right.
Like,
I'm with Rock.
I'm 5'9". Like, I've never been less than the 200. So when I was younger, like, I went off to college, I lost a bunch of weight. And like, people were like, ooh, I don't know, like, you look good. Some people were like, oh yeah, you look great. And then other people that knew me, they would be like, I need you to gain a little weight back. little crackheadish, you know, like, I'm thinking, I was feeling myself. But it's just like, you have to really go through it, especially with your weight. And you know, being a mom, like when I had you, I got super small too. And it wasn't me not trying to, that was just my regular eating habits that I still have now. But I do like to indulge in food. Food is my best friend.
Girl.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So yeah, my beauty is regardless. Like, as long as I feel like I'm pretty, like I had long hair. I cut all that thing off because I was just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people telling me that, oh, your hair's so pretty. Why do you? Because it's mine. I can do what I want with it. Like, so just like I cut it, I kept cutting it, and then now we're here. Okay? You do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy, because at the end of the day, it's you. Don't do nothing for the person you with. Don't do it for your mama. Don't do it for your grandpa. Don't do it for nobody. Like, but you. And if at any point someone tries to rebuttal that, that's showing you right there that person don't need to be there for you.
That's right.
So
I agree.
I want to commend our mommies on our podcast because I know, just like what Keish said, she's been instilling in her baby girl since she's little, like, no, baby, you beautiful, period. And I know Nay does that to her baby as well. Like, them hearing that early on, it gives them that, I know I'm beautiful. I know my mommy says, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, I commend y'all because being a mom is hard. I know I'm not a mom, but I do have godson. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. So I try to, like, you know, just kind of give my experience and my wisdom to my nieces, especially, like, because they're all different shapes and sizes, all colors, shades, and tones. And I just let them know, baby girl, you make sure you understand that no matter what anybody tells you, you love you. You're beautiful no matter what nobody tells you.
That's right.
I've gone through situations where I was bullied as I was smaller and I gained weight as I got older. So I was bullied more so when I was smaller. I guess because I was so frail, I guess, or whatever. And I was just so, oh, everybody, I want to be happy, whatever. But as I got older, I was like, you know, I was still bullied in some situations, but I think that's when I got my stance, like, no, you're not going to bully me because I'm bigger than you. You're not going to bully me because, you know what I'm saying? So I try to make sure that whenever I do get a chance to talk to my nieces, I'm just letting them know, like, just constantly let them know you are a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? You do, the sky is the limit. You do whatever you feel like you want to do. Nope, don't let anybody put a cap on what you're capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? So just, I commend y'all because I know y'all have to do it on an everyday basis with y'all's babies. I see my babies, nieces and nephews when I go home to Kansas City. So I don't get to see them consistently, but for y'all to continually instill that in those babies, like, I commend y'all 110% because I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy.
And even with the boys, like, you know, especially with you, Roxy, you know,
I have to
keep telling you.
Yeah, I have to constantly tell him, you know, and it's not just about his physical, because anyone that sees him, and I hate when this happens, just because they're like, oh, you know, oh, he's so handsome, and, you know, he has the curly hair, he's light skinned, and I've had people like blatantly say that, oh, he's so cute, and just like, and that's just like, and that goes back to like colorism, and it's just like, it's sad that in our society we're so experiencing this, like, why? So and even growing up, like, my family, you know, your family is going to always be the main person that gives you that perspective of your own beauty. And, you know, growing up, I was the chunkier cousin, and I was constantly always having my cheeks grabbed, and I hated my family for that. Like, because they don't realize how much of the hate that they had for themselves for being chunky and their hair being curly, like, they took that out on me. And I had to really sit there and look at beauty. And to see my classmates, I was the only one that looked like me. All my other classmates were for other countries in South America. So I, you know, other people that looked like me in the face, but not body wise. So like when it came to, you know, like having those little crushes and stuff, like I always intimidated dudes because I was tall, because I was thicker. And it really kind of messed with my mentee when I was a kid, like middle school. Oh man, Roxy was going through it, man. So and even like, you know, it took me a while. Like I would probably honestly say it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago that I fully got an idea of like what I'm supposed to look like to me. Like not trying to fit in anyone's box, not trying to bend and comply. I'm tired of doing that. When you do that for so long, you wake up one day and you're just like, what am I doing? Why am I moving over backwards for everybody else? And they're still gonna find something. Like you can be as perfect. You can lose the 10 pounds, sis. You can get the boobs done. Like you can get the butt lift and all that, and they're still gonna find something. So if you're not happy with yourself, don't put that on other people. But your family is really the number one person. So when you become a parent, you're responsible for what that child thinks of themselves. So with Jewel, he doesn't have a complex on how he looks. It's how he feels. He feels different from everybody else. I have to constantly tell him, like, baby, you know good and well, you are not stupid. You know, you are bright. You are smart. You are everything. Like, you're unique, and you need to love that uniqueness of you. You don't have to. He'll be like, well, I want my hair like this. He likes that little style where they have the cut and their hair. Oh, you have curly hair. Like, that's never gonna happen, boo. It's just not. It's okay. Embrace your curls. So it is different, and a lot of people, I think, when they realize they have kids, they'll pour all that into your girls, and you're so beautiful, but you need to uplift these young kings too, because they're gonna be the ones going after your girls. Like, we need to make sure that they know what beauty is in women and in themselves. Like,
absolutely.
Yep.
You're right. And I know, Roxy, you're talking about when you cut your hair, because I remember we all remember cut hair. And I think, was I at work when I cut my hair too? I think we were both on the same job when I cut my hair, and I cut my hair. Like, my hair was, and I cut it to the back knee, and I had been scared for years because I have a fuller face. So I had been scared for years. They'd be like, oh, you got to have a certain kind of face to cut your hair or to have certain styles. But I felt amazing when I finally did it. And it was freeing, because sometimes you got to not just let go of the hair, but let go of what's attached to it. Other people's impression of what it's beautiful. And I liked it. There were people who did not like my short hair. I didn't care. I was like, short hair, don't care, and I loved it. So if you got to do what makes you happy. And let me tell you, when I started my natural journey, probably like 2008, 2009, I was still in New York City. It was not really embraced yet. And I remember there were days I was scared to go outside to go to work, to get on the subway and go to work, because I said people are going to stare at me. They're going to be like, what's wrong with her hair? And I had to go through all these products to find what works for me. But I love being natural. And if you want to perm your hair, wear your weaves, love it, embrace it. Don't let nobody tell you you can't wear lace front. Just put it all right.
Because I'm wear mine.
Not put it all right. I'm done.
Right. Make sure it ain't shifting.
Right.
The wind blows.
Don't let that lace lift. Do you?
Right.
Yeah.
Keisha, you was about to say something. What was you about to say?
What? Ooh.
I
was just piggybacking off of Rock said, as far as the boys, like, I always tell my boys, you are strong kings and always protect your kingdoms. That's why I appreciate, my fiance, because he shows my boys that. He showed them how to be a man. And, that's all I was saying, though. I was just kind of following.
He's setting that example, and that's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, we set the standard. We have to become role models for these young girls, these women, even women who are older, still suffer and go through these. So I'm glad that we're doing shows like this, because we're creating that conversation. And they can look and be like, man, they're 5 different, like you said, 5 different flavors, 5 different women, and different personalities, but we're all beautiful in our own way. And don't let somebody sit there and tell you you are not beautiful, because if they do call us, hit us up. We get at them, but like, you better leave her alone or leave him alone, because we don't play that. Like, it sucks, because especially now in schools and bullying, and now the schools are predominantly in a lot of places online. You probably have a higher rate of being bullied, because now they're, they can text you or put it in a chat. And it's not like when I was in school, if we had beepers. When we got a beeper, you thought you was the bomb.
Different colors.
Oh, hold up, I got a beep.
A two-way pager.
It's totally different. Yes, you don't SkyTel. But like back then, if you had beef or somebody bullied you, that was at school.
Yeah.
When you went home, that was your safe space.
Right.
Yeah.
Not anymore. So we have to be
true.
vigilant with our young ones and let them know bullying is not okay. We have to lift them up and remind them that they are beautiful. Embrace your differences. Set the standard yourself.
Right.
They need to see that you love you too. If you're the one that's like constantly like, oh, this doesn't look right, this doesn't feel good, and you're just like nitpicking at little things that everybody else has, they're looking at themselves like, well, I got that too. I must not be beautiful, or I must not So like it starts with that conversation at the mirror with yourself. Like when you having a bad day, put on your favorite song, put on some whatever makes you feel extra good, and get back to who you are at the end of the day with it.
Yep.
That's true.
Yes, with that being said, Realists, thank you guys again for joining us on this episode. Hopefully that helps you with your personal perspective of your beauty. And don't let no one tell you how beautiful you are or aren't, because we all know you fine like wine, okay?
Facts.
And y'all, we just gonna always remember to keep it straight.
With no